Hello and welcome to the West Ham Transfer Rumours Show, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed your international break, whether you like it, whether you hate it. But tomorrow, the Premier League is back, and so our Hammers Chat with our suite of matchday coverage will be live throughout a lot of the day. So make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification if you haven't already, so you don't miss out on any of it. But we've got big news today. We have a lot of stuff to do with centre-backs. We've got centre-backs leaving. We've got centre-backs staying. We've got stuff about attacking wingers. We've got stuff about goalkeepers. And we've got a bunch of contract news. A lot to get through, including a bit of Rice news that I'll sprinkle on at the end. So let's just get straight to it. Let's power through this, people. Let's get you updated before tomorrow's match so we all know what's going on at West Ham right now. Centre-backs, Ogbonner, injury update coming by way of X. This is hot on the heels of course, the fact that he has been ahead of schedule. Reportedly, he says that the injury is going well. Apparently, it seems the recovery is going well and that he might even be back in April, let alone May. He might even be back in April. But however, X is reporting that while he is ahead of schedule for his return from injury, it has been said that West Ham may not risk playing him again this season. Let me know how you feel about that in the comment section below. I feel like it's the correct move. I don't want to risk it. Big injury, dangerous injury. He's not at the age where I'm willing to just lob the guy back in. I don't think necessarily we need him super. It's not vital. It'd be useful if he came back as good as he was, but I don't want to risk it. I don't want another Winston Reid situation. Let's take our time with it. Personally, but how do you feel? Diop is attracting interest from Lyon, are of course Europa League opponents. This is coming by way of Goal France. They are saying that Lyon are prioritising a move to sign the West Ham defender Issa Diop in the summer transfer window. The asking price is rumoured to be 12 million. Would you sell Diop for 12 million? I would. That's around the price I would begin to consider it. 15 million, I'll say yes. 12 million, I'd start to consider it. I think you could probably get a decent replacement at that point. 15 million though, I would go with that. How do you feel? Would you sell Diop for 12 million? Let me know. Goal France are also reporting, by the way, that West Ham haven't given up hope in signing Marseille midfielder / centre-back Boubacar Kamara this summer. This is a name we've been linked with in the past. Used to be a defensive midfielder. Has played a lot of centre-back this season, been very good at it. Someone we've been linked with before. Atletico Madrid are considered to be the favourites for the 22-year-old, but David Moyes still believes he can convince Kamara to choose a move to East London. Good luck with that one, Dave. I don't hold out hope. I don't hold out hope. I would love to see Kamara at West Ham. I would adore to see Kamara at West Ham, but I think he's going to have a big suitors, including clearly Atletico Madrid. And if it's a straight shot between us and Champions League clubs, he's probably going to pick a Champions League club, right? But listen, give it a shot, give it a swirl, give it a swing, see what happens. Nicholas Stark is interesting West Ham. This is according to German paper Kicker. I should say very quickly, I saw this one yesterday, aka April Fool's Day. I think it's a legit report. I think that's just a coincidence. However, grains of salt. And take it with a grain of salt. Or take everything with a grain of salt. Do you know what I mean? So get some salt in your diet. West Ham have already... What was that? I don't know. West Ham have already made contact with the agent of the highly rated Nicholas Stark as the 26-year-old prepares to leave Hertha Berlin this summer on a free. I've never really... I think I've probably seen him. I've seen Hertha Berlin matches. He's been there for a while. He's played for Germany. I've probably seen the guy, okay? But I can't really say much to him. The German plays predominantly as a centre-back, can also play defensive midfield. On a free... Someone who's got good reports, I guess, around him. I would take that. Again, I don't know if this is real, given it was yesterday. I think it is. That's why I've included it. If not the end of the world. Who cares? But it is what it is. Apparently, also, he's on 30k a week, something around those lines. I've seen Wolves are interested. I don't know. Something to keep an eye on. If it's a free transfer, something to keep an eye on. And then finally, we have a couple of transfer targets reported by ex-West Ham employee. West Ham still hold massive interest in Nottingham Forest defender and captain Joe Worrell. Someone we've been linked with heavily in the past. Someone we'll probably continue to be linked with because it's really easy to link us to championship players because we've said very publicly that's what we're doing. We keep looking at Nottingham Forest because of something else that's going to come up later on in the show. I suspect this one will keep on running and running and running. Whether it will happen, whether or not, no clue. But there's the link. And Marseille defender Kaleta Carr is also someone that we would consider moving for again in the summer. That's gone to X. So there you go. That's all your centre-back news. That's all your centre-back updates. Let's get on to the other positions, maybe the more exciting positions, depending on how you feel about it. We'll start, however, with... let's start with Gerard Deulofeu. Do you remember him? Balling winger. Barcelona graduate, played for Everton, played for Watford, played for Udinese, played for a heck of a lot of clubs. But of course, Spanish, young. Pablo Fornals is the link here, ladies and gentlemen. Pablo Fornals is good friends with Udinese winger Gerard Deulofeu and is keen on seeing him join in the summer. This is coming by way of ex-West Ham employee. The 28-year-old would also be keen on a move to West Ham. And in the final tidbit here, David Moyes knew about him before he joined Everton. Okay, I knew about him before he joined Everton. That means nothing to me. Knew about him. I know about a lot of players. It doesn't mean I want to sign him. It doesn't mean I'm interested. I don't know. It's what was said. It's what was said. Deulofeu, good player, 28. Look, a utility winger we could use potentially. It'd be a nice squad addition. I wouldn't be against it if you're looking at him as, say, a sort of a... maybe a Yarmolenko replacement, something like that. Someone who's going to come in, can play sort of either wing. He's decent enough to start some games. Not going to start every game. He's not. In my opinion, he probably wouldn't end up pushing the likes of Bowen. Maybe on the left hand side, he'd have a bit more of a chance. I don't know. I would be interested to seeing Deulofeu come to the club. I've always liked the kid. I think he's decent. I say the kid. He's only 1 year younger than me, so I probably shouldn't say we're 1 year younger. We're the same age. I don't know my own age. Brennan Johnson is also a West Ham target, according to ex-West Ham employee. West Ham have had scouts watching Nottingham Forest forward Brennan Johnson over a potential transfer move. This is what I was referring to earlier when I spoke about John Worrell and us looking at Forest. This is a name you're going to keep seeing, and not just in terms of us, in terms of a lot of other Premier League clubs. A lot of people are interested in Brennan Johnson. We'll see what happens. Gio is a big fan of him. Or I don't know if Gio's a big fan. Gio's a fan. Gio's spoken about him on the channel before. Ask Gio about him. Ask Gio about it. He'd be able to talk to him about him better than I. And then finally, Alfonso Areola interest. But is it from West Ham? This is coming by way of 90 mins. Fulham are interested in re-signing goalkeeper Alphonse Areola this summer. The 28-year-old is currently on loan at West Ham, where the Hammers have an option this summer to sign Areola on loan again or buy him outright. I would be disappointed if we didn't go for Areola. I spoke about this on a video with Gio recently. I want to see him stay. I really like Areola. I think he could be our long-term goalkeeper. I want him to be our long-term goalkeeper. I really like the guy. Even if it's just another loan next season, I think it's a perfect situation for us. Go get it. Go make it happen. It doesn't surprise me that Fulham would be interested. They look like they're coming back up into the Premier League. He's a good goalkeeper, more than good enough to start for them. He was very good for them last season. It wouldn't surprise me if he was interested, but I really, really do hope we keep him. Now, contract news. Let's run through it. We have a whole bunch of it to get through. In general, West Ham will soon finalise their decisions on players that will be released at the end of this season. Of course, if you haven't been keeping up, we have a whole bunch of players out of contract this summer. Some important, some less so. Let's run through some of them now. Ogbonner is one of them. West Ham will offer Angelo Ogbonner a new 1 or 2 year deal to keep him at the club past the summer. Okay, I'll be happy with that. See how his injury plays out, because if he comes back anywhere near what he was playing before, my God, would he be a beautiful player to have in the squad. Even if he's just a second choice centre-back, my God, Ogbonner and Dawson as the second choices, and maybe you get someone else to partner Zuma. Big. I want to see him stay. 1 or 2 year deal seems like a smart thing to do. Again, we don't want another Winston Reid situation here. Ben Johnson is in the news. West Ham have triggered a 2 year extension in the clause of Ben Johnson's contract. Obviously, he's coming out for the summer. This will keep him here for further 2 years. But talks are underway for the defender to sign a new 5 year deal at the club. The Hammers see Johnson as having a huge future ahead of him and want to secure his services. This is, of course, amid interest by Newcastle and Arsenal. How do you feel about this one? Let me know. I'm unconvinced with Ben Johnson in general. I would want to see him stay, and I want to see him succeed, and I want to see him become the long-term first choice right back at West Ham. I'm not convinced. As a utility defender who could play either side, that would be nice, but I feel like he has to play as much football as possible, and it's difficult. It's difficult for him. I'm just not convinced. I'm not convinced. But to be fair, right now he'd probably be my first choice right back. So having said that, maybe we've got bigger issues if I'm not convinced about our first choice right back. But give him as much game time as possible. Let's get him growing. Let's get him to the point where he wants to be, or needs to be, should be. You know what I mean? Messa Kuju, of course, the youth player, the Portuguese youth player. This one's coming by the way, of QPR, because he's there. apparently. He's already there. West Ham youngster, Mesakiju, I've never known how to pronounce his name, by the way. Is that what you're saying? Mesakiju. Is currently on trial at QPR and is started their game against Charlton Athletic. The under-23s, that is. He's on trial there. The 23-year-old is out of contract this summer at West Ham, and it appears he will be leaving the club. One of those ones we picked up from a random, I think it was Benfica. You get a random youth player from a random club, and then you see if it works out. You roll the dice. This time it hasn't worked out. Hopefully he can go on and have a good career. QPR's not far away. I know people who support QPR, so I could at least get updates on them. I guess. I don't know. You hold some affection. Even if they aren't from East London, and even if they don't even play for the first team, I still hold some affection for youth players. I always get excited when you see any of them. I remember going to watch Barnet against Rochdale about 7, 8, 9 years ago, something like that, and Bonds and Gala was starting at centre back for Barnet, which was exciting for me as a former West Ham player. You know what I mean? And finally, Yarmolenko and Fredericks. At this point, it looks like Andre Yarmolenko and Ryan Fredericks will be leaving the club this summer at the end of their contracts. Not really a surprise. The final piece of contract news, but this isn't of people running out. This is just people, a bit of cheeky contract news. Thomas Souček. Contract talks between West Ham and Thomas Souček have been put on hold until the end of the season. Talks have been ongoing since January with no agreement found just yet, although there is a willingness from both sides to agree new terms. I really, 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 really hope this happens. Thomas Souček is one of the most important players in this squad, one of my favourite players in this squad. I know we can have conversations about his form this year, all of that stuff. But for me, I would be desperate to see him stay. I think he's one of the better players in our squad. I know we can, as a conversation and argument, we can have another time. Hey, have it on the watch along with me tomorrow. Why not? But I would be desperate to see him stay. Finally news, as it were, Rice. Have you heard of him? He's a midfielder we have. David Moyes has spoken about Rice leaving this summer. Quote, "If you're interested, it will be north of £100 million. That was cheap last summer. 150 million is now..." Allow me to reread that. 150 million just now would be the minimum. But he is not for sale. What I do know is that it means there are only certain clubs. There are only certain. Do you know what? Let's rewind that one. We'll do it again, ladies and gentlemen. Moyes has spoken about Declan Rice. Have you heard of him? He's a midfielder at our club. If you are interested, it'll be north of £100 million. That was cheap last summer. 150 million just now would be the minimum, but he is not for sale. What I do know is that it means there are only certain clubs that could even consider it. There you go. There you go. Moyes on Rice there a second time because I'm a professional. Sometimes, you don't nail it first time. That's all your transfer news. That's all your news going into tomorrow's match. There's been a heck of a lot. Let me know how you feel about all of it in the comment section below. Any centre-backs targets you particularly want us to focus on? Do you think 12 million for Diop is a fair figure? Do you want to see Deulofeu, Brennan Johnson at the club? What would you do about the goalkeeper situation with Areola? Let me know about all of that in the comment section below. And of course, remember, tomorrow is match day, so West Ham have a whole bunch. We're not West Ham, we're Hammers Chat. Hammers Chat have a whole bunch of stuff going on around the match. So make sure to come back, hit the like button on this video, subscribe for future stuff. And I'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone. Bye.